promised, when I released my new modern folk art stamps for Procreate, I told you that I would do a free series on YouTube showing you how I did all of the stamp exemplars. And today we're going to work with stamp 1. In your download, there is a 20-page PDF, and some of the pages include these little stamp exemplars to show you different ways you can use each stamp. So I will walk through every single one of those in videos here on YouTube, and in the comments, in the caption, you can find more info on that. So today we're going to work with stamp 1, and that is this tulip stamp, and it's really simple, so it's a great one to start with. It's a super easy tutorial, but you can see when you use it in the right way, it can make for a really cute piece. So this one has a lot of symmetry. I've used butterfly stamps, some of the detail stamps, the heart stamps, extra little flower stamps, hearts, and dots. Today we're just going to focus on the tulip itself. I also used a leaf stamp in this particular piece, but for today's purposes, we'll just do the tulip stamp. So again, in the exemplar, I have the stamp next to an idea for how to use it. So I'm going to leave that up here for reference as I work. So for you, you're going to open a new canvas in Procreate, and on a new layer, you're going to go ahead and grab stamp number 1 all the way up there. And when I was working through making examples for all of these, I used black for everything. So I'm going to go ahead and use black, and maybe I'll make it a little bigger so you can see it better. And if you want to rearrange your stamps, the angle, change it, you just have to click this little ribbon tool up here. And if it's on freehand, you're just going to draw a circle around it. Tap the arrow. This little green tool will let you rotate it. And with the corners, you can adjust the size. All right, so now we want to color our stamp in. So there are 2 ways you can do that. You could do that with a clipping mask, or you could just color right on the stamp. For this particular example, I colored right on the stamp. So you're going to tap your layer and click alpha lock to turn that on. So the back turned checkered. That means I can only color on my stamp. So if I grab my monoline brush and some pink, you can see I can't color outside the stamp, but I can color on the stamp. So I can color that in by just drag and drop to fill the stamp. Now I want to add in the lighter peach color in the middle. So I'm just going to carefully zoom in here and kind of freehand that in. So it really is as simple as just stamping and coloring, which I found really relaxing. I had so much fun making all the examples for this. And one of the challenges I give you in the workbook that came with it is to try to come up with 3 different variations for every single stamp, which would keep you really busy for over 2 months if you just did 1 stamp per day. All right, so play with that until you're happy with the look. If you 2-finger tap, it will undo what you just did. So that's good enough for now because I don't want to keep you just watching what I'm doing, but I like how I got that colored a little better in the first one. So I may mess with that more. It was a little rounded, more rounded on the edges, and I like that better. All right, there we go. So now I need to color in the stamen, I'm not even sure which it is, to be honest. And I'll just color those in yellow. It's a really kind of orangey yellow, but I like it. And then I'll do kind of a greenish teal on these. Do you remember learning all the flower terminology in school? I was looking it up again the other day because that's what my kids have been learning, but I already forget some of the terms. And if you go over and get it on other areas, that's all right. You can just switch colors. This little tool right here allows you to quickly switch colors. So I just tap that square, it pops up, and I can switch to pink if I want to get the edges a little more. And right here, I don't like how I missed a little spot down here, so I'm going to tap that again, go back to that color, and just touch that up. Okay, so you can see, super duper easy. Now we just wanna add a super simple detail and a stem. So to do that, I usually add a new layer. So add a layer below your stamp, and pick a color for your stem. I just did a super basic stem on this one, just a straight line. So if you draw and hold your pencil, you can get a nice straight line. So I do that right here. So tap, hold, perfectly straight line. And then on a layer above my flower, I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the size of my pencil here, or my monoline brush, and then just add that tiny little highlight. And the reason I do it on another layer is just because it's easier to adjust and move around. Let's say I didn't like the position or I wanted to rotate it just a little bit. I can make sure I have everything exactly how I want it. And then when it is how I want it, I actually have been merging these flowers down. So I will merge them down and then they're in one piece. So if I'm gonna use this like on the corners as I did in this square piece, you could either use symmetry, which I've shown you in some of my past videos, or you can just copy and paste it. Now I could copy it. I could start a new square canvas. Let's just do a square. And now I could click the wrench tool and paste that right in. And all I have to do now is swipe left and duplicate. I will rotate 45 twice. Again, swipe left, duplicate, rotate 45 twice, drag it into position. Oop, I messed that one up. Okay, what happened with that is if anything goes off your artboard, it will disappear. So you want to maybe drag it up before you rotate it in that instance. So if I move it, rotate it, and then I've got all four corners into place. And if you don't like the 45-degree angle, that's okay. You can, again, grab that little green tool and adjust it. And if it goes off the page, just make sure it's still selected. Otherwise, you will lose part of your flower. So I don't know if you've ever worked in Photoshop, but if it goes off your page, it's still there. With Procreate, whoops, if it goes off your page, it's gone. But remember, you can always two-finger tap to undo that. And then all I did was go in and add a background color, add the leaf stamps, and I went through the same process adding little details. So I did everything pretty much in a solid color, each element, and then you just go in and add simple details like lines and dots. I did little vines on my lettering, and it's all really simple, but when you take it all together, it looks like a really intricate, fun piece. So I hope you liked this tutorial and look forward to all the others. I'll try to share some new tips and tricks along the way as we go through all 32 of these florals. And if you like this series, we could keep going with the stamps and the other, so in the stamp kit, you have 32 florals, and then you have, let's see, 13 leaves. You have a bunch of stems here. There's 13 stems. I've got 7 different kinds of hearts, 6 butterflies, a cute little bee, a little splash that I've used in some pieces, and those 2 plus signs, which I use a lot in these modern folk art pieces. So I can show you a quick example or two. Here is the art I did for the Procreate kit. I saved room for my logo right here, but you can see that's some of the little stems right here. That's the splashes. This is 2 leaves stacked on top of each other, some stacked florals, the cute little bumblebee, different butterflies. That's actually a floral right there. So you can get really creative with how you use these stamps, and I will be back soon with stamp number 2.